Fight over civil rights in St. Augustine in the wake of noisy protests last year in the middle of the Nights of Light celebration. A controversial new ordinance aims to regulate protests, but some say the city is trying to limit free speech. Action News Jax Kevin Clark is live in St. Augustine. And Kevin, city leaders tell you they're just trying to keep everybody safe.
During last year's Night of Lights kickoff, there were thousands of people in the plaza in this area here. And under the new proposed ordinance, protesters and counter-protesters alike would have to remain on the sidewalk, essentially on the outside looking in. During last year's Night of Lights kickoff, Confederate Monument protesters surrounded the main stage as the lights came on. The city has proposed an ordinance that would limit protesters and counter-protesters alike to the sidewalks surrounding the downtown plaza for these type of events. Reverend Ron Rawls of St. Paul AME Church has fought hard against the monument. He and quite a few others see this as simply an attack on free speech.
They are definitely trying to silence our voice.
City attorneys argued St. Augustine is actually hurting free speech by not passing anything, since the safety of protesters would be at risk. Mayor Nancy Shaver tells me the ordinance was written with events like Charlottesville in mind.
This was an ordinance to make sure we as a city protect free speech and protect the safety of the people who are either protesting, counter-protesting, or there for an event.
But Reverend Rawls says it's protesters who are simply being targeted.
There's never been a question of violence or an act of violence committed.
Do you worry about what message this sends, though, being that there haven't been any violent incidents at any of these events here in St. Augustine?
No, I don't. I think most people realize that it is a world where people want people to be safe and they want people to be heard.
Now, the first reading of the ordinance passed 3-2 with some questions about free speech and over legislating. It'll be heard for the final time next meeting. Now, all new at 11, why some leaders say that the size of the plaza will actually allow protesters to be heard from all around the plaza. Kevin Clark, Fox 30, Action News Jax.